football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BC, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about a very interesting fight. It's really got my attention. It's really got me intrigued, and it'll be this Friday. So for those of you who are saying, "Oh, well, boxing's kind of slow right now. There's not a lot of fights." Listen, I'm giving you guys some game right now. Friday night, the 20th, January 20th on ShoBox. The main event's going to be Sean Hemphill versus David Stevens. But for me, the real main event is actually the co-main event. And the co-main event is going to be an absolute banger. Now, on one end, you're going to have Philadelphia's very own, one of the hottest young prospects in the sport right now. And definitely, to me, the most interesting and intriguing light heavyweight prospect in the sport right now today. Atif Olberton, in his 8th professional fight, will be taking on what I believe, just based on the little bit I know about him, the little bit of tape I've seen on him, he'll be taking on what I believe to be at this moment in time is his stiffest test to date, and that is against none other than Artem Brusov, 12-0 from Russia. But apparently he's down here in South Florida. I never crossed paths with him. He's gone to a lot of gyms I've gone to. I guess we've never met. So shout out to Artem Brusov. He is here in South Florida. So I'm sure one day we'll meet. But good fight stylistically. Oberlton brings a lot to the table. He brings excitement. He brings that southpaw stance, that long rangey jab outside that southpaw stance. He fights, or he's shown thus far in his career, he fights very well for a tall man. He steps in very well with the straight left hand. He's got a lot of speed, power, defense, footwork. He's shown these things in great multitude in his career thus far, But to be honest with you, I give him credit. He can only fight who wants to fight him, and from what I've heard, not just through him, but through other people in the boxing world, it's not exactly easy to get Atif Olberton fights. That's why, you look at his career. This is his 8th pro fight, but if you go back to his 5th pro fight, he beat a guy with 31 pro fights, in his 5th pro fight. His last fight, he took on Christian Thomas, who really hadn't fought anybody, but was 11-0, had developed a reputation as a big puncher in the Las Vegas boxing scene from those Las Vegas boxing gyms. And Atif Olberton starched him in 2 rounds, and it made it look like it was easy. So every time they give Atif Olberton what they've deemed to be a small step up or a step up, he's passed to flying colors. But now he's taking on, to my knowledge, from what I've seen on BoxRec, I don't think he's ever fought a Russian fighter. And this is a hard-punching, vicious Russian fighter in Artem Brusov. Brusov, from what I've seen of him on tape, heavy-handed, a guy that's not afraid to let the leather fly. He's one of these guys that can hurt you. He can, be a big problem for you if you sit there and let him, punch up on you. Now, from what I've gathered, because there's not a whole lot of information out there on Artem Brusov, so I had to really be a journalist for this video. Brusov has sparred the likes of Manu Torres, who you guys may remember fought Jose Benavidez Jr. And gave him a good fight. The tricky Argentinian, he fought him, or he sparred him. He sparred, super middleweight prospect. I think he's a super middleweight. Tima Karavov, who, good fighter out of Russia. And also Marcos Escudero. So he's been in the ring with some decent fighters, sparring from what I could gather up. I couldn't gather much up on his amateur background or his amateur record because, like I said, there's not a whole lot of information out there on him. I looked near and I looked far and I looked wide for Artem Brusov information. And, what I'll say is this, man. He's going to come forward, so I think Atif's going to have a chance to really put on a show. But my thing is this. Thus far in Atif Olberton's career, by the way, this is an 8-rounder, but thus far in his career, Atif Olberton has never got past the 5th round. So my curiosity for this fight is, number one, could Artem Brusov take Atif Olberton into those deep waters he hasn't been into yet? And then the question will also be if he does that and he succeeds in doing that, does what will Olberton look like? Is Atif Olberton the kind of fighter that will go into the back half of a fight and get better? Or is he one of these fighters with a lot of talent, a lot of skills, who looks pretty in the early rounds, but kind of is like a front runner? We'll see. We'll get those questions answered. But this is why I love ShoBox. This is why I love these ShoBox cards, because you can come into these fights and you can know a little bit more about one prospect than you do the other, because there's just not a lot of information out there about Brusov. And ultimately, ShoBox has a long reputation for competitive boxing and high quality matchmaking. So I don't think they would have just picked Brusov if they didn't think Brusov could give Oberlton problems and fits. From what I've seen on tape, he's got a very well schooled jab. You know, I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing, like I see pictures of him and the former middleweight contender Matthew Korbov. I don't know if Korbov's his trainer or what that deal is, but there's a lot of pictures on his Instagram of him and Matthew Korbov. So I'm still trying to learn if that's the case. I think Matthew Korbov is his trainer. So if that's his trainer, if that's someone that's part of his team that's actively working as part of his camp, then what a great guy to learn from. You know, Korbov did a lot in the sport, fought for world titles, been in big fights. Was a high-level amateur, one of the highest-level amateurs from Russia. So Brusov will have a lot of knowledge and experience to gain off of fighting him, and that's what it is, man. So I'm expecting a good fight. I'm expecting a fight where you're gonna get Atif Olberton, especially in the early rounds, as the quicker, faster, more athletic fighter to really win those early rounds. But somewhere, if Atif don't hurt him early, the middle rounds, the back part of the fight, you know, I think with Brusov's well-schooled jab, his heavy hands and things like that, you know, this fight could be interesting down the stretch. So, you know, I think Atif will win. You know, I think Atif's just a special fighter. I think that's a talent. But ultimately, look, special talent only means but so much. And he's made very, when he came on here a couple months ago, and I interviewed him, I had the honor to interview him, he made light of that. He said, look, you know, it's about the mind and the mental and being smart in there. And I think this is the kind of fight where we get to see the IQ, the intelligence, the smarts of Atif Olberton get tested, and we'll see if he's the goods or not. And, you know, as far as Brusov's concerned, we don't know a lot about him. Listen, I told you guys right now, he trains here in South Florida. He's all the way up there at Palm Beach Boxing, a gym that I've never gone to, but I know about it. And he's gone to some gyms and sparred at gyms that I've gone to, like Warriors Boxing Gym, Delray Beach Boxing Club. But we've never crossed paths. So, you know, I'll have to ask a little bit more about Brusov. But, yeah, man, should be a good fight. Looking forward to seeing what kind of challenges Brusov brings to Oberlton and how Oberlton handles them. So, yeah, to me, that's the highlight of the card. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Oberlton versus Brusov, the co-main event on this weekend's ShoBox card Friday. Make sure you guys tune into that. I won't be live for it, but I'll be watching it, and I will be doing a post-fight review video for this whole card. So stay tuned for that. And, you know, it should be a good night of boxing. So, yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.